Okay, so Logan is coming out. This is a big movie. People have been waiting for the real Wolverine, and it's getting outstanding reviews. So I'm here today to kind of give you an outline of comics or graphic novels, how I like to read comics, a list of them to read before Logan or even after Logan to get more used to the characters. And these are top 5 Wolverine comics. So it's going to include both Wolverine, Logan Wolverine, and Laura Wolverine because I like both and I want to give a little bit of each. So let's get right into the list of the top 5 Wolverine comics to read before you watch Logan, or after, whichever one. We're going to start off with Wolverine Origins. Now, don't get scared here. We know that the movie sucked dick. Everybody in the world knows it. It's one of the worst superhero movies ever created. I didn't love the story in this comic all that much. I thought it was good, but it gives a lot of depth to Logan. The background, especially when he's a kid, is pretty interesting, and it's very sympathetic to the character. You actually feel for Logan, something that a lot of these comics, even the ones that I'm going to list below, really don't give to Logan all that much. So yes, this is one of the better comics to get a real background and give you some depth to the character of Logan, and it's a million times better than the shitty movie. Coming in at number 4 is Logan. Now, don't get confused. This has nothing to do with the movie Logan. This is a short yet sweet story, and it's actually one of the better ones to read just for the art alone. I really enjoy the art in this comic. It's probably one of my favorite of even in this whole list. This is a story of a very broken man going to face his past. You see Wolverine in his younger days when he's during World War II, and then you get to actually see this kind of two-sided thing. You get to see him rescue a racist piece of shit and also fall in love with this beautiful woman. Of course, things happen, and it's chaotic and sad, but the only really negative to this is it's a little bit on the short side, because giving this 2 more issues actually could have been a classic in my opinion, but as it is, it feels rushed, and that's sad because I was really enjoying what they were given. I just thought it could have definitely expanded, give a little bit more depth to these characters in the story. However, if you want to see a softer side of Logan instead of always being vicious, I think Logan, the comic, is very much worth reading. We're going to go to AllNew Wolverine. That's the new Wolverine that we have now, and this is Laura's the new Wolverine. Now, I suggest actually starting with reading X-23. There's Complete Collection Volume 1 and 2, so you really get the background of Laura. However, she is both unique and very fun to read, and you can really jump right into this, even though her past is tragic and very fucked up and worth reading. You don't have to enjoy AllNew Wolverine. On top of that, you get to see her full circle when she gets into the all-new Wolverine, so reading the past definitely helps. She takes the mantle and starts becoming the new Wolverine. However, you notice things that are quite different about her. She just doesn't kill right away, and she's more of a thinker than the Wolverine who's more savage, and this makes a unique twist on the Wolverine mantle. Also, you get more Wolverine clones. Now, that might sound bad because Wolverines with an S at the end comic sucked. However, the clones in this are pretty good, and the little girl, the littlest one, she's the coolest fucking clone ever. So this is one of the strongest comics to read in my opinion for Wolverine overall, and it's new, so you can kind of catch up with the new fans. So check out AllNew Wolverine. Alright, Enemy of the State. This is probably one of the more famous ones. It's if you love Logan and you love the badass Logan and the savage Logan, Enemy of the State really is going to be one of your favorite because he's so vicious in this. This is basically where he gets mind controlled and goes after all the good guys, including the Fantastic Four, Elektra, and it's just really fun to see Wolverine actually use his brain and be smart but yet still savage while trying to take them all down. It's written by Mark Millar, I believe is how you say his name. I always say Miller, but I think it's Millar, and it's definitely his style of crazy, over the top, out of this world type of characteristic that you might really enjoy. And I think Enemy of the State works as just a really fun blockbuster type of graphic novel, so definitely check this one out if you want to see the savage Wolverine. And the very last Wolverine is going to be Old Man Logan. I actually have a few issues with Old Man Logan. However, as far as this list goes, this is one of the most entertaining, balls to the walls, action-packed, emotionally filled adventure of our favorite mutant killer. This is basically Mad Max meets X-Men in the best ways. Sure, it has some bad dialogue here and there, and there's some questionable ideas of the characters, but there's so many fucked up moments that stick with you, and without spoiling it, this is worth reading because out of all all the stories, this is probably closest to the movie Logan because of the post-apocalyptic feel of it. I also recommend seeing this, watching this before you watch the movie, so you don't have to compare, because you're going to hear a lot of people compare this to Old Man Logan, but you can see the similarities, but how they're going to be very different and in the good ways. So that is my list of the Wolverine comics to read before you see Logan or right after, to really get in tune with the character. Yes, there's a lot of people that are going to say, no, you got to read Frank Miller's run. It's so good. I didn't really enjoy it all that much, but I know a ton of people do, maybe because I'm not a huge Frank Miller fan, so maybe check out that. However, for me, and Ultimate X-Men, that's not bad, though, a very different take and a more sexualized Wolverine. However, these 5 I do recommend. A lot of them are standalone. You could just pick them up and read them and then be done with them, except maybe All-New Wolverine because it's new. But these comics, pick them up, read them. If you want, go read them on the Marvel Unlimited app for, you know, it's like $10 for a month and you can read all the comics you want. This is the best way to get familiar with Wolverine Logan himself right before the movie or right after. So check out these comics. Let me know what you think below. List your top 5 or some of the Wolverine comics you really loved. And everybody, have a wonderful day.